Now then, how's everyone doing tonight? Everybody fresh from Dovetail Direct? I hope. Oh, dearie me. Any surprises? What do you reckon? I know some of you have been in Dovetail Direct itself, and then you probably watch my my wrap up afterwards, which is there on the channel if you've missed it, which might be a bit easier to digest if you watch mine, because mine's 28 minutes, but mine's just TSW5 related. I didn't talk about the VR or the Roblox, but I will talk about the VR. Not the Roblox so much. I can't see myself doing Roblox. Never have, never will. It's a bit. Well, I'm a little bit old for Roblox, I think, unless somebody convinces me otherwise. But yeah, here we are. Another live stream. Let's see if my voice holds out. Let's say a few hellos. There's Animal. Nice to see you, Animal. First in. Oh, you're in on your own, were you, at the beginning? There's a few in now anyway. That's good. KH, hi Tintin. Looking over this new Train Sim World 5 and Roots. Oh, you think you'll be leaving Train Sim World and focusing on other PS5 games? That's a shame. Don't forget, you get the upgrade for free. So you can stay as you are now and still have TSW5 with all your routes that you've got right now. So you don't have to actually buy anything this time. So that's good. Parkhouse Spotting, thank you very much for the subscription there. Thank you very much. Welcome to the team. Who else have we got? Mason, good evening. How you doing? Animal's putting his trousers back on. Oh, you've had a bad day, KH. Sorry to hear about that. Get your feet up if you can. And we're going to play a bit of TSW4, obviously, because I don't have access to TSW5 yet. As soon as I do get it, and I don't know when that is going to be, we will, of course, jump in and we'll have a look. But I think it'll be after all the preview streams have taken place. I don't think I'll be allowed it before that. Sai, good evening. Kobe, how are you, mate? A long time, yes, indeed. But you're back now, so that's all that matters. Kevin, good evening. Mr. Water, David Drives, good evening, Tintin. Happy with the free upgrade. The German route looks good as well. I'll talk about all the routes because I can now tell you I've played all of them. And I couldn't... Do you know how difficult it was last night to sit here and talk about Dovetail Direct and not tell you guys anything about it? I am under an NDA, so obviously I can't tell you about it. That's what I've signed up for. That doesn't make it any less difficult. I'll just tell you that. I've even got the t-shirts. So the t-shirts that Matt and JD were wearing, the Train Sim 5 t-shirt. I've even got the t-shirt, but I've had to lock it away in the wardrobe. I've not been allowed to walk around with it on. I can actually wear it now. It's quite a nice t-shirt, actually. Animal says quite a lot of nice stuff there. And routes. The Class 87 will be nice. Did they announce a Class 87? I don't think I know what the stock is yet. And the blue thing for the Great Western Express. Yeah, I was only told about the Great Western Express, like you guys were. They've not showed it to me. So, yeah, we're going to do Blackpool branches because, well, it's a Just Trains route, isn't it? Plus, it's one of my favourites. We're on the PC, which is why I've hardly done any progress. It's all on the PS5 that I've done. Let's do the Class 31. I'm going to go for 1E45. We'll have a run up to... we'll have a run from Blackpool North to Preston, and then I think we'll go from Ormskirk after that in the Pacer, shall we? So I'm going to do that. I'm going to take off the dynamic weather. And I will tell you everything I know about Train Sim World 5 that I haven't already told you in the other video. Sai says, and breathe. Yeah, that's true. There's a lot to tell, though. There's a lot to tell. Yeah, played all of them. I mostly played the West Coast Main Line. That was the one I was obviously the most interested in because I wanted to get in the Pendolino and see what that was like. You know, I've been playing the Pendolino quite a lot in TS Classic, so I had a direct comparison there. Plus, I'm always travelling on the Pendolino, so it made sense. Usual thing, let me know about the game sound once we get in, because I have been tinkering with it. Make sure it's loud enough inside and outside. Let me scoot along to the front. So we're in the Class 31. Why not? This is one of Animal's favourites. I think you said last night, Animal. So this is what we're going to do. Right then. Let's have the master key on. We'll put it forward. Oh dear me, I must not have even run the 31 on the PC. Instrument lights are up here somewhere, aren't they? Right, why is it not oh, there we go. The windows. Put these on. Not that there is much. Oh, AWS. What's up with this blooming controller? I wonder if the battery's going. You know what, the battery could be going. Because it's not responding to what I'm doing. Let me just try the mouse. Oh dear me. Right, hang on. Right, let me try again. I'm having some technical difficulties here. Oh, I've opened the door now. I don't know how I did that. That's better. Right, let me try this again. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to change the battery in the controller. So, give me 1 second. I'll keep talking while I'm doing it. But this sometimes does happen, as you can imagine. Just talk amongst yourselves for a second. I've got a battery here, all charged up. This is the problem with Xbox controllers, right? My PS5 one, I can tell exactly when it's going to go. Can't tell with the Xbox one that I use on the PC. Right, let's try that, shall we? Put that back on. Get that connected up. Right, let's see how we get on this time. Right, tail lamps we don't need. We will get underway. Route indicator lights. That's all we need, isn't it? There. Right. Thank God for that. I will catch up with whoever's in the chat in just 1 second. Let's get the doors open. That's annoying. It puts you to the back of the train as well when you come out. Already fashionably late. It's a sunny Blackpool North. Good evening, Farah. How you doing? Kevin, looking forward to the Preston to call out, and the 87 is announced. Ah, right, okay, okay. I only saw that roadmap slide. I've not seen anything on that, so... you happy you're getting a Welsh route? Yes, so is Farah. Farah's happy about that one. You used to drive the 31 in real life. Oh, nice. That's pretty good. I should try the PS5 controller. You're right. You're exactly right. I don't really like the Xbox controller. I think it's a bit clunky, but let's get the doors locked. And there's the guard's whistle, so we'll make a start. Oh, we're straight through to Preston, so that's not bad. Let's go. Wait a minute. Don't tell me I've not got it in forward. Come on, off we go. Right, finally. Yeah, sunny in Blackpool. Yeah, it's Blackpool can be a little bit like Barrow. and it can be a bit grim, but it looks quite nice. I bet if we had the dynamic weather on it, it'd look grim. It'd be raining by now. There's the 08 over on the left. Yeah, so I can tell you guys are excited for a couple of the routes. But first of all, I'll tell you about my trip. So if you watch the other video that I did, you'll see me outside Dovetail. So I went down there last week. Went down there for 2 days. Got invited down. Had the presentation. Very similar to Dovetail Direct, actually. So I knew what was coming up. But the highlight of it was being able to sit. They had lots of PS5s set up, so I was able to sit there again, as I did last year, and play on the routes for quite a few hours actually. So mainly the West Coast Main Line south with the Pendolino and the 350, and I ran up and down between London and Milton Keynes several times in the Pendolino, which was great. I really enjoyed it. The sounds on the Pendolino I think are excellent, just like the real thing. Now I didn't ask him whether they recorded them from the real thing, but it sounds like it to me. I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on it, to be honest. I think you'll quite enjoy that. I assume most of you will be going for the deluxe edition. You'll have to let me know. But the deluxe edition makes the most sense, I think. I think it's clever how they've put the Pendolino in the deluxe edition. There's some smart marketing there. But let's just say the other thing as well. I think it's a very, very good idea to give everybody the upgrade to the core TSW5 for free. Not a lot of people would have expected that, I think. So that's good. Which means if you're really not interested in those new routes that have come out, which is probably a bit strange. There's got to be something there for somebody, for everybody. I think you can just jump in to TSW5 and drag all your old stuff across, and you can carry on, really. So there's no real need to buy anything else, which is what a lot of people were worried about. So I've always said with these yearly sort of updates, think of it as a bundle of routes. I think now you really can think of it as a bundle of routes. You could choose to pick them up, or you don't need to, and you can stay on TSW4 if you want. So I think they did well with that. Animal says, thought it was pretty good stuff announced. Been waiting for the ability to switch routes at a station rather than back to the menu. That's going to be a good feature. Just wonder if that's leading to. I think me and Mr. Watter were talking about it earlier. I wonder if that's leading to, merging routes together in future. So I think from what I saw, jumping out of being able to sort of transport from one route to another, I don't think you can do it from the cab. You've got to do it on foot. So the example I used in the other video was going London to Brighton. You'd have to get out of the platform onto the platform at Brighton, and there's kind of like it's marked out on the platform, so you got to walk over to that, step on it, press a button, and it gives you the list, which you saw in the Dovetail Direct, of all your other routes that you've got, and then you can just say where you want to go, and it loads it up. So that's quite clever, and I'm going to speed right across this 35 as we approach Poulton, so I better get the anchors on pretty swiftly. So yeah, route hopping I'm hoping leads to, like, it's the early stages of merging routes or something. The only problem with merging routes is that we've got some routes that connect that are different eras. So, that might be a bit of an issue, although Blackpool branches would probably fit quite nicely with the Preston to Carlisle one, wouldn't it? And I'm really speeding. That's because I'm looking at the chat. So, you know, if it's going across eras, it might be a bit difficult, but then again, there might be a way that they tackle that in future as well. I don't know. Now I've got to wait for the brakes to come off. Animal, you're going to be holding it at home for 2 weeks when it comes out. That's good. So if you get the deluxe edition, you'll get the early access as well, which is 5 days early access, which is quite nice. So it's if you just get the standard edition, it's available on the 17th, and then if you get the deluxe or the special, it's 5 days earlier than that. So you get a bit of time to play it. Might take you 5 days to download all your routes, mind you. But they did. I sat down with Matt for quite a while I was one of the breakouts. I did ask him about that. He did say they looked at ways of being able just to transfer across the routes that you've already got downloaded. They tried various things, but they couldn't get it to work properly. So yeah, unfortunately, you're gonna have to download all your routes again. The way that I do that is on the PS5. If you just kick them all off at night and just put your PS5 in rest mode. Last time mine were all done in the morning. So if you've got that option, I don't know if Xbox has that option. I did that last time and it seemed to work all right. So. I will. You don't want to go to TSW5. You think it's unnecessary? Well, it's only a core update. It's a core update. Think of it that way. It's all the new stuff, but you know, like I said, you don't. It's free, but you still don't have to go to it if you don't want to. So you've still got a choice. But if you want the new routes, then you'll have to be on TSW5. They won't work in TSW4. That's the thing to remember. The other thing to remember is the core TSW5 is free for the first 30 days. So to October the 17th. After that, if you want TSW5, you will have to buy one of the editions, so you'll have to pay for the routes to get TSW5, if that makes sense. So for 30 days you can have TSW5 on its own and not have to buy anything, but after the 30 days the only way you'll get it is to buy one of the editions. Yeah, it's the only downside, waiting hours for the DLC. Yeah. All the trophies will be new. Yeah, there's another platinum. If you're on the PlayStation, that is. Good evening, Ratty. How you doing? Hello, Jason. Yeah, fair enough, KH. Yeah. Exactly. It's up to you at the end of the day, isn't it? I would say right now, and I'm just guessing, I don't think TSW5 will be the last one. I think what they've done this time, giving everybody the core, is similar to what they do with TSW Classic, isn't it? So there's sort of an annual update usually for that as well. So it's kind of like the same thing. So, you know, you might get TSW6 next year, but it'll probably be a similar thing. Now that they've spent 1 year not charging anybody, they can't really charge anybody the next year, can they? So, I mean, I would set it in your mind now that there probably will be a TSW6. But obviously we'd have to hear that from them. Showing station names on the map is way overdue. Yeah, you can also, on the map, you can also see the signal that you're at. If you're at a red light, you can also look at the map and see who it is you're waiting for. You can see the trains coming towards you. The trains coming towards you are also labelled now with what service it is, etc, etc. So the map's pretty good, to be fair, from what I saw of it. Correct, Ratty, yeah, correct. So, who is it? I will eat you. So if you don't get the free TSW5 in the first 30 days, if you change your mind in the future, the only way you're going to be able to get it is by buying one of the editions. So it's up to you, really. It's your own choice. I don't know if you're getting confused between buying TSW5 and buying the routes. TSW5 is completely free. It's only if you want the routes you have to pay. David, you'll be on holiday without the fast internet access, so no early access for you. You'll get the deluxe on PC, even though you only want the German route, and you'll get the free update for PS5. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Good evening, Laserjet. How you doing? It is, Animal. The bundles are always a lot cheaper than they would be if you were buying things separately. It's exactly that. Yeah. Animal says, must admit, when they announced the tilting train, got excited thinking it was the APT. Well, I don't want to say it because it might not happen, but can you imagine? Once the Preston to Carlisle route comes out, the APT ran there, didn't it? It's the same in TS Classic. I wonder if we'll ever get a Loco DLC for the APT. That would be class. So, you know, you might get your wish eventually. It would make sense. Probably pay a bit more attention to what I'm doing. I'm looking at the chat more than anything. No, I don't know anything. No, I thought it was a good suggestion that you made, and I just thought, you know, Preston to Carlisle. Because in Train Sim Classic, the APT is a DLC for the West Coast Mainline over Shap. So I'm kind of putting two and two together. I definitely don't know anything. I don't think they've... because the route's not out yet, I don't even think they've thought ahead that far. They might have done. Sai, you're going for the deluxe. Boris says everyone should download the free update and then delete it if you want. Madness not to pick up it for free. Yeah, that's a good point actually, yeah. That's a good point. Once it's in your library, it's in your library, isn't it? You own it then. You have to do the APT and the Deltic sometime. They'll be silly not to. Well, Gilly that was in last night in the stream, he's a big Deltic fan, so I know he'd be wanting a Deltic. There's all sorts they could do, isn't there? And we don't know what the Alan Thompson route is yet. He always does UK stuff, doesn't he? So actually, you know, as far as, you know, the roadmap goes, the UK stuff's looking quite promising, isn't it? Especially with the Great Western Express remaster. Unfortunately, Farah, it's not getting extended. It doesn't sound like. I know you've wanted it extended for years, but there's no mention of that. So it just looks like a remaster. But we're going back to the West Coast Main Line route in TSW5. So I was coming out of London, Euston. Euston's really well modelled, so you can walk through the station, you can go onto the concourse. It's got all the new, because it was only a couple of years back they changed the big screens, didn't they, at London Euston. I don't know, any of you go to Euston, you'll know what I'm talking about. They used to have the flat panel screens along one wall. They've now put the passenger information screens kind of in the middle of the concourse, and they've modelled all those. They're all brand new. So I went walking around the station. It was bizarre because I'd just come from Euston that morning, and it was weird walking around. So I had a good look around the station. It's pretty well done. Scenery wise, coming out of Euston Station, you can see the BT Tower. This is on the PS5, by the way, so not the PC. So you can see off into the distance quite well. As you're coming out of Euston, obviously you pass the Bakerloo line on your right, and the 1972 stock is included. So even if you don't have the Bakerloo, the 1972 stock is running up and down the Bakerloo line, which is quite good for immersion. You can see it running up and down. Then as you come out further, you go past the yards. Is it Willesden? I can't remember the name. One of you train guys will tell me. Begins with a W. The name escapes me. But the big massive yard just outside of the... and then you can see Wembley Stadium over to your right hand side as well. And Wembley's been properly modelled in there. Saw that. And then on your left, you could see the 710 from the Suffragette line going up and down between Euston and Watford, which was quite nice. So there's a little bit going on, and I think you'll enjoy it if you do pick it up. And why am I going so slow? That's what happens when you talk. Do I know what stock is coming with Preston to call out? Nobody's mentioned that to me. Who was it said there's an 87, but I haven't seen that. I know as much as was revealed in Dovetail Direct about that route, which wasn't a lot, you know. And it's in the upcoming 3 months plus, isn't it, on the roadmap? So, you know, September, October, November's 3 months. So I wonder if it'll be like around like a Christmas release. That'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? Wonder if the blue train on Great Western Express is the Class 50. Yeah, I don't know that either. I don't know that. Hey, take Cardiff for now. Yeah, Cardiff's definitely going to be in. Wonder how much of the Wales route will come out. Yeah, I don't know. That'll have to be the roadmap streams, won't it, I think, for the details on some of these. Simon, how you doing? The 390's locked only to the deluxe edition, which is not nice though. You can kind of see why they've done it. So each deluxe edition, the deluxe editions have been the same, haven't they, for a while? So I think if you'd have put, the Pendolino in the standard edition, then players wouldn't have liked the fact they would have to get the 350, as you know, they'd have to go to the deluxe edition for the 350. It's kind of swings and roundabouts, isn't it? And I was saying at the beginning, I know the Pendolino is going to be really, really popular. I expect that you might be able, if you go for the standard edition, going off what happened last year, I expect you will be able to buy the Pendolino later, a little bit later, as a low-code DLC. Because you remember last time, you only got the Scotsman, for example, as part of the deluxe edition, but later on they made it I think it was a couple of months down the line, but they made it an individual sort of bolt-on that you could get. So they might do that again. Again, I don't know, but I'm just guessing. It depends how much money you want to spend, but me personally, from playing, I played the deluxe edition while I was down there. That's the one I would go for. Obviously, the special edition. Most of you have probably got a lot of the routes that are included in the special edition because you've all been playing it for quite a while. But I think the special edition's good for anybody that's new to TSW, certainly, because there's a lot of stuff in there. I think it's 104 quid, and I think there's way over 200 quid's worth of stuff in there. So if you know you're going to get into TSW, then that's a good deal. I wish there'd have been a deal like that for Train Sim Classic, you know, because you know, I've just got into that in the last year. I would have loved to have bought, I would have gone ahead and bought something like that for TS Classic, definitely, because I've had to get everything individually. But there are a lot of sales for TS Classic. That's the other thing to consider. Right, coming into Preston. Wickerheads, how you doing? Nice to see you in. Euston Watford being the Lioness line, yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, the name escaped me. Yeah, but it is the Lioness line. And if you already own the Suffragette line with the 710, then you can run services up and down there. Yeah. I keep getting connection issues. Your PC and phone have been annihilated today. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Thanks for all the comments, everybody that commented on the other video that I released at 4 o'clock, straight after the Dovetail Direct as well. That was nice that everybody was commenting. I think generally, you know, apart from I Will Eat You, I think the reception to it has been, I would say, mostly positive, which is quite nice to see. Be nice to do some runs from Euston to Watford. Yeah, I didn't actually do one of those whilst I was down there. That's about the only thing I didn't do. So yeah, I spent a lot of time on the West Coast Main Line. It was quite good. And even the German route, though, the German route, I always kind of think that, to me, to my untrained eye of German railways, I always think a lot of them are very similar, but this one had something about it which was quite nice. And as I said in the other video, Frankfurt is crazy. The modelling of Frankfurt was something else. But you'll see all this in the streams that Dovetail are going to be doing. I see they've already scheduled them in YouTube, even though they're not coming up for a couple of weeks. Animal says, did I see any of the Dutch route? No, unfortunately not. I didn't see anything. I didn't see a screenshot or anything. So the Just Trains route, the Dutch route, I didn't see any of that. All they showed us was that roadmap slide that you saw in the Dovetail Direct. Didn't see any of the actual detail, unfortunately, much as I would have liked to see it. And I think that's because it's a few months away yet. I don't think they like to show anything that's that far ahead in the dim and distant. Yeah, correct, LaserJet. Some things will be talked about in the roadmap. So yeah, make sure you all jump onto the next roadmap. Is that tomorrow or is that Thursday? Can't remember. I did notice just when I switched this on, by the way, that the TSW5 adverts are already appearing in-game. So they must have had that ready to press the minute everybody found out about it. There's a quick run down to Preston. We're going to jump in the Pacer next, I think. Kevin says, great that we can now also be a conductor. That will be fun. Yeah. Oh, I need to put the brakes on a little bit more. That will help. I'm trying to think how much of that I will actually play. I will do a little bit of it, I think. But I did say to Matt while I was down there that one of the benefits for me of that conductor mode is that, I don't know about you guys, but you spend that much time driving. I never go and walk through the train. So, you know, Dovetail and the other third parties do a lot of work to model the interiors as accurately as possible. And apart from those route introductions where they ask you to sit down and they tell you all about the route and that kind of thing, I hardly ever go inside the train itself. So I think from that perspective, I'll probably see a lot more of the stock than I'm used to, you know. So I think it's worth having in there, definitely. There's Jason's screenshot up in the top right, just briefly. You've been budged over to the right, Jason. They've put some Dovetail Direct stuff in there now as well. Right, so let's go for this one, and I'm gonna do 2P04 Ormskirk to Blackpool South, so it's just over an hour, so we'll do this one for just over an hour. But don't forget, as far as TSW5 goes, if you've got any questions, you can of course ask me now, but failing that, the video I put out that's on the channel from 4 PM tonight has basically got a roundup of everything. Plus, I'm on the beginning of it, so there you go. A rare face reveal. I've done it a few times, haven't I? But I don't have a webcam on my PC, so that's why I don't do it often. Right. Doors are open. Instrument lights are on. Let's put that on. We don't need the heated screen. We will put the AWS on. And we're going to Blackpool South. Let's change these. There we go. Do that. Let's go and have a quick wander. Yes, all the details are on that 4 o'clock video that I put out, in case there's anything else. I only covered the TSW5 though. I didn't say anything about the VR in there, and I definitely didn't say anything about Roblox. But being as we're talking about the VR, so when we were at Dovetail, I didn't do the VR. You could do the VR, but I didn't do the VR because it doesn't really sit very well with me, the VR and the motion. I did used to have the PlayStation VR, the very first one, and it used to make me feel a little bit nauseous, I must admit. So I didn't give the Train Sim World VR a go. Some of the others did, and what they did was they piped it to a big TV screen so we could see what was going on without actually doing it. And to be fair, it looked alright. You know, if VR is your thing, then, you know, it looked alright. I think Jason had a go. Did you, Jason? I think you did. But I think that'll appeal to a lot of players, certainly. Right, Burscough Junction is our first stop. Yeah, you'd forgot about the guide mode, yeah, so it was used on Glossop, wasn't it, in that scenario? And now they'll show you a little bit more once they show you the inside of TSW5, because they didn't show you the UI and all that kind of thing, did they? But they'll show you in the timetable. You can go to a service, and next to the service you've got a little driver icon, and you've got the conductor icon, and you just choose which one you want to do. So you can either drive the service, or you can be the train manager or guard or conductor for that service, which is quite neat. So again, you know, if you don't want to drive all night, you can do a bit of checking the tickets, and should be pretty neat. Just thinking about the guide mode on Great Western Express on the 166 is going to be fun. On a whole station stopper, yeah. You'll have to find out which stations on the Great Western Express have got barriers, and then you can choose then which stations you need to check the tickets on. I don't know if it works like that. They're probably in between each station. There's probably going to be people that haven't got tickets, I expect. So it might not work like that, but I guess that's how you would do it in real life. Ultra Scarborough will be nice. Something different. It's only 45 miles, 11 stations, and over an hour would be a nice on route. Yeah, that would be a good one. Yeah. Good evening, Toc. How are you? Preston to Carlisle in a pacer, yeah. Avicii fan, I hope I've said that right. Welcome. Thank you for the sub. Welcome to the team. Oh, the VR died just before your turn. Yeah. Yeah. It was fun watching people do it, because when you're watching people doing VR and they're kind of wandering around, flailing their arms around, it's a bit bizarre. It's quite funny actually. But to the person that's immersed in the VR, obviously they're there doing it, aren't they? It was quite funny. I thought it was quite funny how they announced it with Matt wandering around, throwing his arms around. The fact we get the London Overground route inside the West Coast Mainline route is pretty cool. It is, yes. As I said, you will need the suffragette line, but I think lots of us have said about the suffragette line that it's one of the better ones that DTG have done for quite a while, isn't it? So if you don't already have the suffragette line, then you know, that's quite a treat in itself, really. Oh, Ratty, you're going to have to buy the suffragette line. Oh yeah, I remember you saying you used to travel up and down it, and you didn't pick it up at first. I remember now. You used to travel up and down it in real life, didn't you? I think you said. Rufford is next. We should see some traffic now on the West Coast Main Line, Lioness Line, and the Bakerloo. Yeah, it did look quite good, to be fair to them. Tok, you've been checking tickets today. Oh, on your railway. Is it the Keighley Railway? Just remind me. I think it's the Keighley Railway, isn't it? Keighley. Was it steam trains today? Ratty says, "What the hell is Roblox? Is it a kids game?" It is a kids game. My kids. I don't know if they do play it. They have played it. It's definitely. It won't be your type of thing, Ratty. Honestly, I'll tell you that right now. I don't know the reason for it, but I honestly think it's probably to get a younger demographic into the real TSW, I expect. I think that's what the basic idea is. Because obviously I think, you know, with Roblox you're just going to be able to rip and roar the trains, as it were. But then if you enjoy doing that, you might take the step up and go to TSW, possibly. Suffragette line is a good one to play. It is, yeah. I lived in Leighton, yeah, that's it. Yeah, British Ace was playing the one. It was with a pacer, wasn't it? It was a pacer like this. I couldn't tell you which Roblox game it was, but I know he was driving a pacer. But it is a kids game essentially, yeah. Keighley and Worth Valley Railway, yeah, I thought so. Oh, you had a pacer today. Which pacer is it? Is it this one? Is it the blue one, or is it the sort of cream coloured one? Could have even been the Merseyrail one. You'll be giving Roblox a miss, yeah, I will as well. I mean, I obviously thought about playing it just to show you guys, but I really don't think you'll be that interested in it. I'm just, you know, I'm just saying. I think we'll have enough to do in TSW5 to be fair. Oh, you had the 144, not the 142. Yeah. Right, we've got a 15 coming into Rufford. So I don't know if DTG are going to do any public promotional videos from the Ambassador event, but when the Preston to Carlisle route was announced, I know the cameras were rolling, and I kind of nearly jumped out of my seat with a massive yes, like this, and that'll all be on camera, so that'll be quite amusing. If they do bring that out, that'll be quite amusing. Whether they will or not, I don't know. We'll see. Bread and custard, West Yorkshire Metro livery from the late 80s, very nice. The Goblin Line is the closest route to you in the game. Ah, that's interesting. For some reason I thought you were a bit more up north, Animal. Maybe you drive up north in your truck. Maybe that's what I was thinking. Jason's 8-year-old loves Roblox. I think 8-year-old is probably... it's the target audience, isn't it? I would say. Around that. 7, 8, 9, 10, maybe. Sure. Wait, he used that language when he was 8? He's right, though. Top Sausage, how you doing? Welcome back. Roblox was called Tycoon, so it'll be Tycoon type game. Yeah, so in the little segment, I didn't know anything about the... I knew the Roblox thing was coming from last week, but I didn't... I saw more of it today. I didn't see anything of it last week, but... that was Ben, wasn't it, that did that segment, and he was showing the Tycoon aspects. Like a city building game, wasn't it, where you also drive trains. So that's where the Tycoon bit is coming from. Fine words for an 8-year-old, yeah. Tok says Blackpool branches might be your local TSW route now behind Northern Transpennine. Right. Yep. You're a Southern softie, an Essex boy. I take it the game sound is okay. Nobody's said anything yet, so I did watch a little bit of the stream back from last night with the 37. I couldn't tell whether it was a bit low or not, the sound. So always let me know if the sound is a little bit, you know, either too high or too low. You can always mess about with it. Different games run at different sort of sound levels, unfortunately. Language, Timothy? Yes. That was Sorry, wasn't it? That was Ronnie Corbett. Was it called Sorry? I remember Ronnie Corbett was a librarian and lived at home with his mother and his dad. His dad was always in the shed at the back trying to get out the mother's way. There's a running theme there. Right, this is Croston. Actually, was it last week? I think it was last week I drove across this bridge. And I'm going to have a look now. The road that I came from, I'm going to see if it actually exists above. Once I let everybody on. Have a quick look outside. It does, so I came from this direction. Yeah, I drove there and I got to this point and I went, oh, there's Croston Station. I knew I was heading towards Croston, but I didn't actually know where the station was, so yeah. The tarmac's a bit thick there, isn't it? But yeah, so that's quite nice. Right, we'll go and get the token from the signalman. Or we'll give him back the token, I should say. Game sounds great. Excellent. Yeah, the Pacer's not a 37, is it? as far as the engine sounds goes. Anybody upset that we didn't get working toilets? I think this is the Pacer toilet, isn't it? This one. Bouncy, bouncy. There you go. I mean, imagine being sat on the loo, right? And it's doing that. It's one of those, if somebody's missed and there's a big pool on the floor and it's doing that, you kind of, you know, hopscotch, you know, you to dodge it, you don't get it on your shoes. Sorry if you're having your tea right now. That's the realities of a Pacer. Going up to Blackpool at the end of September for the Heritage Tram event. That'd be good. And oh, the Ribble Steam Railway Gala down at the docks. That'll be good. Yeah, the Pacer, the Chewy Sweet from the 80s, absolutely. Unplayable, unplayable because there's no working toilets. I mean, the chat in the Dovetail Direct was going that fast. I couldn't keep. I was trying to read as much of it as I could, just to see everyone's reactions. When you know what's coming up, it's a little bit. It's a little bit strange. Eddie Jr., how are you? Welcome in. Nice to see you. Tintin, hope you're well. Enjoy your content. Keep up the good content. What other stock do you think we'll see on the West Coast Main Line North? Are you looking forward to it? Thank you for the comment about the content. Appreciate that. I guess it'll be. I think first of all, if you relate it to TS Classic, it's going as far as Carlisle, and in TS Classic it's called the West Coast Main Line over Shap. And TS Classic also has a West Coast Main Line north, which goes from Carlisle more north to. I can't remember where it ends. But there is a West Coast Main Line north, so it's more West Coast Main Line over Shap. But we were talking about this. Everybody's saying the 87. And then I guess as it's a Just Trains route, and Just Trains made this Blackpool branches, possibly we could see the Pacer. I don't know. I think certainly, I would guess we'll see the 47 doing some of the freight stuff. It's quite exciting though. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. To answer your other question, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Right, I've gone slightly past him, but let's give him the token back. There you go, pal. I think we're good to go. Get the brakes off. This is Midge Hall signal box. I've waited here quite a few times as well to cross in the car. Don't see the fascination with the working lavies. Yeah, I'm same. People want the full experience. Sausages in the bin. I am speaking from experience, yeah, when I used to work on these things, yeah. I have vivid memories of that. I have vivid memories of things coming under a toilet door. And straight opposite the toilet, on this side, you've got the doors. like that, and let's just call it stuff, would come out from under the door and make its way down here. That's probably what this is. You get my drift? It's shaking about that much. Gravity wants to push it somewhere. So there you go. Good evening, Dave. How you doing? I know you're going for deluxe edition, Dave. You told me earlier. Didn't get a notification that I was on. Yeah, it's a bit iffy, isn't it? The notification system. Does it go to Glasgow? I can't remember. It probably does, yeah. You're probably right. I've not played the West Coast Main Line North section very much. It's mainly the West Coast Main Line over Shat in TS Classic that I've played the most, as you know. Dorothy, good evening, how are you? You've got a question, go for it. You wouldn't mind driving a pacer over Shat? Well, even if the pacer doesn't come as part of the actual DLC, you'll be able to do that anyway, won't you? With you know, scenario, free roam, scenario creator, free roam, etc., etc. Because I was saying last week, I know it's not era, it's not canon, let's say. But if you do have the Pendolino, there's no real reason why you can't stick the Pendolino on this new West Coast Main Line over Shat route as well. We'll create a scenario. I don't know how. I don't know just how out of date it would look to have a Pendolino on it. But if you think about it now in Train Simulator Classic, that's what anyone. Well, it's what I've done. It's what anyone does now if they're going up there in the Pendolino. You have to use the route that's available. So potentially you can run the Pendolino on the West Coast Main Line South in TSW, and then you'll be able to run it again on the Just Trains route. Give it a good blast, because it's about 90 miles between Preston and Carlisle, so that's a decent run. It'd take you an hour or so, about an hour and 10 maybe. Just depends. You heard the screenshot they showed was near Morecambe, which is unelectrified. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is unelectrified. So the 101 and the 142 play around on that. Yep, you could be right. You could be right. Oxtail soup in the bin as well. Yeah, sorry about that. With the West Coast Main Line, do the trains have player settable destinations, or are they automatically set? Do you mean, well, if you run a service, they'll be automatically set. But if you do something in free roam, you could perhaps stop where you like, or create a scenario, you can stop where you like. If that's what you meant, Sophie. West Coast Main Line was the LMS Jubilee's old stomping ground, so I'll have a chuff on that. Yeah, that'd be good actually, I never thought of that. Just running a steam trade up there. I think once the routes come out, there's a few things you could do. You know, there's a few things you could do with them. And even the, I mean, someone will have to create the Transpennine livery, for example. But you could, the 350 that's coming out, as part of this new West Coast main line, you could run that up there as well. You wouldn't run it in that livery that it's got now, but if somebody creates a Transpennine one, and I'm looking at you, Jason, virtually, then, you know, that'd be believable. You could do that. Someone said the 390's locked behind a paywall. Well, that's what I mean. It's you have to buy one of those editions. You'd have to have the deluxe edition to get the 390. And to get the 390, you know, obviously you need to have bought the West Coast Mainline South, so you would need the deluxe edition for that. Got a bit of freight over on the left hand side there. As we come into Preston. That train's got a plate on the sides. Robin Hood. Right, so we've got a 3-minute wait at Preston. $47,480 Robin Hood. It's quite nice. There's the 101. I haven't driven the 101 for ages. JT's giving us more information tomorrow. Oh, are they announcing something tomorrow? But you'll definitely get the Pendo up to speed. 140 miles of West Coast Main Line with both routes, yeah. Yeah, that'd be good. I've definitely finished with the Lavies now. I just wanted to tell you that story in the interests of, you know, life's experiences on a pacer. I thought that was only fair. I've had that experience, I should share it with you. Sophie, you're getting the 53 quid one because you want the Pendolino. Absolutely, I think a lot of people are going to do that. That's a good question. Is the Pendolino part of the early access? Yeah, so I wonder if the deluxe does come out 5 days early. I don't know. I think that's a good question. I'll try and find that out. Yeah, we've all got to look at Jason. He does the liveries. He does the channel liveries for me. Do I reckon the 350 and the 390 will appear as AI on other routes? Well, the Pendolino should appear. Let's just have a think. Where should the Pendolino? It should be at Glasgow, shouldn't it? It should definitely be at Glasgow. Would it be at Edinburgh? Because we got the what do you call it? Azuma. The Azuma appears as AI, doesn't it, up in Scotland? So I would hope it does. I hope wherever these things do appear, they should appear. If they're in the right livery. So like the 350, for example, that only comes in the one livery, so it would have to be. Where else could that appear? It won't appear in the north because there is no livery for Transpennine or anything that runs up there. So I don't know. It's a good question though. Good thing. Hope so. Right, let's get on to Kirkham, shall we? Hope a couple of bugs are sorted out in TSW, like texture blur and audio popping. Are you on the... You're not on the Xbox, are you, LaserJet? Just talking about the audio... The audio problems. Yeah, I forgot actually, you make a good point there, Tok, that some of Spirit of Steam is West Coast Mainline, because we got Crew, haven't we? And around there. Holland Rail, good evening, how are you? Yes, Holland in TSW5, exactly, yeah. I was quite excited about that because I was saying down at Dovetail, I don't know a thing about Dutch railways, but I'm quite excited to you know, learn something about Dutch railways. The same with Japanese railways. I don't know anything about Japanese railways, but the Tadami line is going to be coming out. So, you know, again, there's an opportunity to learn something about Japanese railways. So it's all good. New countries coming out. And I think the Dutch train simming community is quite big, isn't it? So, you know, everyone will be pleased over there at this news. New Street, yeah, New Street. We should see the Pendolino at New Street, hopefully. I guess we won't know that until they do the preview streams and they've got a few things installed. When I was at Dovetail, we just literally had the new stuff installed, that's all. So Animal, the first train you ever went on was a 101, Braintree to Witham. Is that Witham or Whittam? I don't know that place. Could be Whittam. Kim says, nice seeing the Netherlands finally getting a route. Absolutely. Deluxe comes with early access, but they never stipulated whether it comes with the Pendolino at the point of early access. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what happened last time. I suspect whatever happened last year with TSW4 and the Deluxe edition will be the same again. But were those extra bits slightly delayed? I can't remember for the life of me. Pendle should be at Edinburgh, Manchester and Birmingham. Yep. Yeah, hopefully. Oh yeah, because Piccadilly as well. Yeah. For the Glossop line. Absolutely. Right, we've got 6 miles to Kirkham. David drives. Watching the stream just reminded me that despite your love of German routes in TSW, this is still the best DLC so far. I think this is still the best one. I mean, I am slightly biased, obviously, because of my location, and I wonder how I would feel about it if I wasn't biased because of location. But then I still think it's a great DLC, this one. And that's why I think this other Just Trains route we're talking about, I think if it's this quality, then I think we're in for a treat. I think when we got this one, most people took a deep breath, didn't they, and thought, wow, this is pretty good, this one. So I expect the new route that they're doing to be just as good quality wise. I'm sure it will be. They're all local lads, so. they know the area, so it should be pretty good. Pendolino does go to Edinburgh, right, got it. When's the Netherlands? They just said it's not in the 0 to 3 months, so it's 3 months or more, but they haven't said exactly when. It won't be within the next 3 months. I think that's as detailed as they've got about it. Animal, you quite like the German stuff. The German stuff's quite good. Yep. I like the fast routes. I like the LZB stuff. I love the speed. That's why I like the Pendolino, I think. But the ICE trains are very good. I'm not as keen on the stoppers, the German ones. I don't like the DOS doors. I don't know what it is. I get if I drive like this in a DOS door, I get tunnel vision after about an hour. It's really bizarre. I pull into a station and stop, and my eyes are still moving forward. It's a really bizarre experience. Well, that's just me. But yeah, I don't like the DOS doors. Doc's glad that Wales is coming to the game. Cardiff Network sounds very interesting. Yeah, it's nice to have Wales in. Wales is a big part of TS Classic. There's a lot of Welsh routes in TS Classic, so it's right that, you know, they should put a couple in TSW. I mean, I really enjoy the North Wales coastline in TS Classic. I'd love to see that in TSW. That's a very nice route. Whittam, yeah, Whittam. I'll remember that. Thank you, Neil. How are you? Dutch trains are very yellow. I need to look into this. As soon as we find out what the well, they've told us what the route is, so I can probably go and look it up. I might do that tonight. I might just go and have a look, because as I said, I don't know anything about Dutch trains at all, or Dutch railways. Absolutely, Neil. Yeah, looking forward to the 2 West Coast mainline routes. From what I can see, most of you are mainly talking about the West Coast main line, and that will be because most of you, I assume, are UK based, and that'll be why. But you already know that the West Coast main line is quite a good route. Any section of it really is quite interesting. Whittam is your local station, Ratty. Ah, there you go. Scotsman and Vectrum were actually playable during early access, right? I would expect it to be exactly the same. They haven't said anything different. I do believe pre-orders are already available. So if you did want to go and pre-order it, I think you can. I don't think you've any need. It's not like the old days. They're not going to run out of discs or anything like that, you know. That's probably another question that will come up. Is there going to be a physical disc version? I don't know the answer to that, because I know some people prefer to have a disc. Yeah, TSW5 is just a core update. You can install it, transfer everything you've already got into it, and you can just sit like that. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to buy anything else. It absolutely shows 18 plus months of development time. Yeah, yeah. Preston Station's fantastic on this route. Yeah, it does. It's good. It's quite an accurate representation of that sort of time period. As you may have just been able to tell, that other video I did where I've put some photographs of Preston Station from when I was working there, when I was a kid. You may be able to get a little flavour. There's only one or two from Preston Station, but you might get a little flavour of what it actually looked like back then. Because those photographs were... When is this set? This is set... I think this is set a couple of years before I worked there. But obviously it's very similar. What was wrong with the 150/2? You mean what was wrong with it as in the rivet one, and what did it do and what did it not do? Oh, the quality. Oh, there you go. Yeah, so Sophie says the quality of the 150/2. I couldn't. When everyone was saying it was bad, I couldn't really tell. It's only when I've played the one in TS Classic that I can tell the difference now. The acceleration, the one in the TS Classic, you put it up to full power, there's the roar of the engine and it's off. The one that's with the West Cornwall in TSW doesn't really do that. So I can see what everybody's talking about. Animal, you prefer the German freight? Yep. West Coast Main Line splits at Carstairs to go to Glasgow or Edinburgh. Yeah, it does. Yeah. So again, I keep mentioning TS Classic, but in TS Classic, you have the option to go. There is a merge that I've got which allows you to go to either Glasgow or Edinburgh. So I did the Glasgow run the other day on the channel, but there is an Edinburgh run as well. Repon, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the team. Hope you're well. Let's get the doors closed. So we're going left here on the route up to Blackpool South, because we already went to Blackpool North, of course, in the first one, or we came from Blackpool North, so we'll go up to Blackpool South with this one. That's what I was thinking. Do any of the Welsh routes have the RETB signalling in? Do you mean in TS Classic? I don't think so, no, but you can use the RETB system in the Highland, one of the Highland lines. I don't know if you remember, we did a stream of it, we did a live stream of it a couple of months back, where there was we used that token system in the 37. And from London to Milton Keynes, are we treated to any level crossings? Even though I've been up and down there a few times in the game, I can't tell you. I don't know. Honestly, can't remember. That's what I was saying. I will eat you. Honestly, that's free. The problem is if you don't grab it in that first 30 days, then the only way you're going to get it is by buying something. So if you think you're ever going to go to TSW5, just grab it in the first 30 days. And it won't cost you anything. You won't get any of those routes, but you'll get the core TSW5. So that's what you want, really. Master Ben, good evening, how are you? Yeah, like I was just saying, I don't know if there'll be a physical edition. Not sure. Nobody going to mention the US route. The US route is it's very, very similar to the Antelope Valley, of course. Both the Antelope Valley and the San Bernardino line, they both originate in Los Angeles as well. So it shares part of the route, which is good for the hopping feature, which is now coming in TSW5. But depends if that US stuff is your type of thing. It's good though. There's a good route. I had one run on it, but to me it was very similar to the Antelope Valley. But then the Antelope Valley is a good route in its own right. I was playing that at weekend actually, because I'd not been on there for quite some time. I did a full run in 2 parts in the direction of LA. I quite enjoyed it. It took me a couple of hours. Master Ben, you like the US stuff? And there's plenty of it right now. Plus 66 from the ECML has the new suspension. I don't think I've tried the 66 yet since that update. Do we have to transfer everything over again from TSW4 to 5? Yes, you will. Unfortunately, you will. Yeah. That's the only pain in the backside. And that's why I was saying, Dave, you're on PS5. In your settings for rest mode, you can say what your PS5 can do when it's in rest mode. And if you set it to do updates when it's in rest mode, just put everything in the queue, all your routes, put them in the queue, and go to bed at night. And when you get up in the morning, you should find they're all done. That's what I did with TSW4. Otherwise, you're sitting there all day. So and I was saying earlier, I don't know if you can do that on the PC or whether you can do it on Xbox. I don't know if there's a similar thing, but you can definitely just put them in a queue on the PS5, put it into rest mode, and then by the morning they should be done. And I've got a crap connection. My connection's like 35 meg download, so it's really rubbish. The high speed hasn't hit yet, just round here. They've been putting in all the technology in the grids and in the boxes outside, but it's not come to us yet, unfortunately. I'll be looking forward to that, to be fair. Master Ben, you've already pre-ordered the TSW5 Deluxe. Yep, cool. So nobody's mentioned that they're ordering the standard edition yet, or the special edition, which I think I expected. I think most people, if you want to get the routes, I think most people will go for the Deluxe, I reckon. Ratty, you like the cab screen update where you can click on a screen to enlarge it. That's brilliant. That is actually a good feature. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's a quite good feature. Yeah. And then, you know, being on a console, once you click the screen, you just use the D-pad on the controller to go up and down. You know, to select whichever button you want on the screen. It's quite good. Antelope Valley, the first bit was okay, and the last bit, my god, that's so slow. I quite enjoyed it the other day when I played it, after, you know, a couple of months. And you're on the Antelope this afternoon, Ratty, that's good. Tok, you only did the full run of Antelope Valley for the first time last week. good route, but you need a few hours to play the full thing. Yeah, as you said, it's like 2 hours, isn't it? It's over 2 hours end to end. And most of the services are broken into part 1 and part 2. Which is handy. Master Ben says, as you're French, you hope in the future we'll see more French routes. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, Dovetail are owned by a French company now as well, so I don't know how much influence they have over what goes on day to day in TSW, but it's always possible. Right, Lytham. Where's Tom? Let's listen to Tom.
The next station stop is Lytham.
There we are. Tom tells us it's Lytham next. Most people will go for deluxe. Oh, you're going to go for the standard edition? I thought you would be going for the Pendolino, Neil. Which, of course, you can only get. You can only get with the deluxe edition. Like I said, though, I think if you get the standard edition, I would almost put money on it that later on, maybe 2 or 3 months down the line, they may sell the deluxe parts as separate DLCs, so you might just be able to get the Pendolino, for example, later. I would hazard a guess at that, although I don't know. I'm just thinking what happened last year with the Scotsman, etc. Welcome to sunny Lytham. But yeah, in summary, I think most of you are quite excited about it. From what I can gather, I think most people are pretty happy, which is good. And really, the 17th, oh well, the 13th of September, if you get the early access, it's not that far away, is it? Not long to wait now. That's the good thing. I mean, they could have announced it at the beginning of August and everybody would have been like, oh. There would have been too much of a gap. You know, knowing what you know, there would be too much of a gap between the beginning of August and 13th or 17th of September. So it's maybe a good thing they leave it a little bit later. Ansdell and Fairhaven. Neil, you prefer the older trains. So the West Coast main line over Shapton will be probably right up your street, I imagine. Thank you everybody for coming in again though, do appreciate it. It's been a busy day for train sim related news. Don't forget, if you want to have another recap of everything that's gone on, Just go and watch that other video that I've got on the feed from this afternoon, and that sort of summarises everything really, including the pricing and what you get and what you don't get and all that stuff. I just can't wait to get my hands on it and then we can play it on the channel. That's the emergency brake. Let's test it out. Everybody's running for the train now because I've gone a little bit too far. Actually, nobody's running for the train. Nobody wants to get on. They've got 10 seconds. They're a bit casual if you ask me. Come on, hurry up. Right, I'll give you 5 seconds because I went a little bit forwards. Right, that's your lot. You have to catch the next one, be in an hour. Right, St Anne's is next. Waiting for the tram sim to come to console as well. I think they're working quite hard on that tram sim, to be honest. I could see a lot of people in the chat sort of you know, slagging it off a bit, which is fine because it's in early access, so a lot of people don't like the fact that the city's fictional. Whether or not they'll add real cities later, I mean, this is early access. You never know for early access whether or not they've created a fictional city, because it's easy to test things out on without having to be too accurate, if that makes sense. It could be that, I don't know. Who knows? But I think that will do well on console, that tram game. So I did notice that all the improvements that they were talking about on the Dovetail Direct stream, during the time the stream was going on, I was getting an update on PC in the background for that, with all those updates in. So maybe we should have another look at the tram game over the next week or so, because we have streamed it but we've not done it for a while, so maybe we can have a look. Master Ben, disappointed with the US content, but the German route and the 390 future content, really great news. There's a lot going on, and if there isn't something for you right now, chances are on that roadmap there's something coming up you're interested in, I would say. And like we always say, you don't have to buy everything. If there's something you really want, you can buy it right away, and you know, for the rest you can wait for a sale. It can be an expensive hobby, can't it? Which probably, you know, DTG have recognised, and so that's why they're giving the core update to TSW5 to everybody for free. You know, I suppose it helps them as well, because if you get a free upgrade to TSW5, then potentially you'll get people moving from TSW2, TSW3, TSW4 onto TSW5, and eventually there'll be less versions to support, you know. In fact, I think probably TSW2 and TSW3, they've probably already finished, haven't they? Support for those is probably finished anyway, so, but they'll be able to tell how many people have moved to TSW5 once it releases. Neil, you'd like to get the Euston to Milton Keynes route and the West Coast Main Line just trains. Preston to call out. Yep. Pull the handbrake. You'll be buying Tram Sim when that comes to console, but not the Roblox. I think the Roblox is free, isn't it, anyway? I think it's free. But like we were saying at the beginning, I don't think I'll play that. I think it's a bit too kiddified for me. That's not to say people won't enjoy it. That's absolutely fine. I don't think it's my type of thing, though. What's wrong with the fictional city? I think that's a lot of people's major complaint about it, surprisingly. Not how the trams run, which is what you think people would be bothered about, but it's the fact that it's a fictional city. Yeah, I don't know how many people will still play 2 and 3. It's a good question. The fact that you can generally move your stuff across each version should help with that, shouldn't it? You don't need to leave anything behind. We did with the first one. We had the old NEC route in America. When we moved from that to TSW 2020, was it the next one? There was the shunter on there that we didn't get. We also didn't get the cab car for a long time, and that came in with, was it Boston Providence last year? But apart from that, everything else is transferred. So currently making a scenario for Oakville subdivision with the Vectron. Vectron and Oakville. That's interesting. That might make me play Oakville actually a little bit more. Every TSW game, Master Ben, and every DLC. Every credit to you for that. It also depends how many hours you spend playing it as well, you know, whether it's value for money or not. If you only play it every now and again, it's just a very casual thing, then it's like owning an expensive car. You know, it's like your cost per mile, isn't it? It can become very expensive if you don't really use it, you know. So as long as you get your money's worth, it's you know, it's pretty good. I mean, I play it a lot. I do play it a lot. Not on PC, obviously, as you can tell. In between screens, on the loading screens, where you can see, you know, what level I am. But on the PS5, I play it quite a lot. Ratty's back with his chips. You're not having a kebab tonight, then, Ratty. You didn't fancy a kebab. Eddie says, what do you think about the Great Western Express remaster? Do you think the blue loco could be a 50? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think the GWE remaster is a very good idea. It's still many people's favourite route, even after all this time. And let's be fair, it definitely deserves the treatment. Blackpool South, including the Pleasure Beach, which you can just see there out the window. I was almost stopping there for the Pleasure Beach station, which doesn't exist yet, does it? See the roller coaster going around there? It's pretty neat. Let's just coast in, shall we? Gonna need a massive hard drive the way games are going. The way this game is going, definitely. Dave, you think the blue loco will be a Deltic? That would be massive, wouldn't it, if it was? 2 to 3 hours a day you play. That's good. That's good. Yep. That's not bad at all. That sounds like there's a few of you calling for the Deltic. Ratty's got chicken legs. I don't know what he's eating, but he's got chicken legs. There's the tower over there. So Blackpool North is just kind of here in the distance. We've got the washing out. Oh, Pleasure Beach actually was open, was it? And then it closed, and then it reopened. That's interesting. So we'll get everybody on board, and that will be us for tonight. But I'm pleased that, you know, it sounds as if everything has been to your liking today with Dovetail Direct, pretty much. So of course, you know, once it comes out, we'll be looking at it together. I don't know if I'll get early access before the public early access, if that makes sense. But if I do, then we'll obviously play it on stream and have a look at it like we usually do. But thank you, by the way, your average class 319 enjoyer. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. We'll lock the doors and I will say au revoir. Thank you everybody for coming in. Thank you for the likes on the stream. Do appreciate it. That's 2 good streams this week. Take care everybody. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care everybody.